reprimand. Somebody said they got a reprimand for doing that, and then they're also liable for the financial damages they caused.
Do you think they're overstepping their authority?
In a lot of cases, I think they are. I learned that the Supreme Court said they could do these for immigration purposes, but I think the Border Patrol's main mission now is for anti-terrorism. So each one of these agents has radiation detectors on there, and I saw, well, I kind of learned. So one agent, scanning every vehicle as they're going through with a radiation detector, and these guys have their radiation detectors on their belts as they go through, and I think they're more interested in that than the original approval for checking people for immigration, and they're also doing more things with the drugs than they might have done in the early 70s when these began.
You think most people out there would be as they're the so is he placing you under arrest?
I guess so. He's putting me in handcuffs, and I think just before he broke the window, I didn't actually hear what he said, but I saw in another view where he's kind of saying that I'm not complying with an order. I don't know what the order was, and like 8 hours after they had detained me, they read me that was the charge, but I don't know what the order was or when they gave it. Or
were you ever prosecuted for anything?
No. They seized everything I owned and then held all my camera equipment and computer, my business phone and everything for just indefinitely until they were going to have a court case. So I didn't know how long they were going to hold this stuff. So I bought new stuff, and I'll send them the bill for that as well.
So they took all your stuff, took you out of the car, put you in cuffs.
Held me like most of 10 hours in handcuffs, and then some undercover agents, or not, just plain clothes agents came and drove me to El Cajon and just set me on foot, and then my car was impounded, and so then they just held my stuff for 21 days until they finally, I don't know exactly what they did. I think they were trying to get a warrant to look at the media so they could show that they were doing something right here.
You think they were doing? They were doing it right?
I think the general opinion is no.
Are you a drug smuggler?
No.
Are you a terrorist?
No.
Why do you think they went to such lengths?
I think they were confused. I had a lot of things in the car that I was using for filming. I was going to film some more documentary I was doing on Border Patrol checkpoints. I was just kind of adding different characters and stuff, and they're finding stuff in the trunk that had to do with that, and they were, I think, confused with that, and maybe just trying to do a deeper search of, what I was up to. But I think it was more they were, kind of overstepping their authority. They really shouldn't have done that. They were, I think, maybe trying to convince me to be more compliant in their eyes.
Do you think there's more of an awareness out there about what's going on at these checkpoints because of videos like yours and because more people are having to go through?
Yeah, I think so. I guess I kind of got some stepping stones from other people. They had gone through some of the agents. They had like 17 agents, giving their testimony while I was sitting handcuffed in the back room. Were wondering if I was this Steven Anderson or something who had gone through, and actually a Yuma County sheriff had broken into his car when he had refused to go to a secondary inspection area.
So when you're not doing what they want you to do, are you being rude to them, or tell me what your strategy is for your behavior?
I try to be polite. Most of the time I'm just trying to entertain them. I think here I was just quiet, and maybe they didn't know what to do. And I was taking pictures of them while they're going through. I was collage in my garage with just pictures of the scene.
Mm-hmm. What's your overall goal for these videos and your YouTube site?
I think I just, I like to overcome myths. For this, I think it was, I kind of wanted to be respected as a photojournalist is kind of what got me into this. I noticed I run into a lot of problems, no matter where I'm filming or whom I'm filming. There's some people who have a problem with that, so I'm trying to do, I guess, be a more respected photojournalist, do a better job at that, and a lot of the things I do on the YouTube is kind of for stock footage and or to cover events and things like this. Here I was had initially started making a documentary film for the Yuma Film Festival. I was in a photography class, and I was also in a class at ASU for their internet and web development, and I made a poster talking about making a documentary on this, so I decided I'd actually do it.
What's been the response to these videos?
I get all different sides. I think it seems like everybody's kind of interested in this topic from different sides, and I like to get the understanding of how those people feel. They get both left and right and middle, and just people all around the world are kind of interested in this topic. It seems like these checkpoints similar to this are set up in different countries by our military, and other militaries are kind of pattern their the way these are run.
You think if more people had to go through these checkpoints that they would still be as popular as far as if you talk to Joe or Sally USA, they would say Border Patrol checkpoints are good because we have to keep illegal immigrants out and they're checking for terrorists. If they had to go through them as often as people in southern Arizona did, do you think they'd be as popular?
I think what happens is most people who go through them don't even notice they're going through them, or they'll go through, they didn't notice it happens. I think it's when people start stumbling in there or the agents start asking questions that people don't really understand, or why are they asking that question, that they start getting annoyed. I noticed through with some Native Americans who were upset. They're asking them if they're Americans, or that they really shouldn't have that, or a lot of people getting, maybe that's not, people have a different car that's not theirs, and then they get pulled over because a drug dog that also checks for concealed people pulls them over to the side, and they rummage through all their stuff.
Do you have an opinion about whether you support these checkpoints or not now?
I think the way they're run, they're not being run the way they should be. They're overstepping their bounds the way they're being run. I try not to be too strong on my opinion, just because I'm more interested in filming them. I like to stand back a little bit, but I do recognize, a lot of errors that they do make, and a lot of errors that the public makes, a lot just consenting to searches when they're not required, and people feeling bad because they answered a question that they didn't really have to answer. If they kept quiet or said something or give these people less information, they wouldn't feel so bad about it.
How long ago was this shoot?
It was the 31st of May, 2013.
And all of your equipment was confiscated. Did you get that equipment back?
Yeah, I got that back on the 21st of June.
The same year? So it didn't take too long?
No. I talked with their paralegal in San Ysidro, and whatever got filed.
Could you think of anything that you had done wrong that would require you to be arrested there?
Well, they said for not complying with an order, whatever that order was, I don't know what it was. And then later when I reviewed the video, I saw the guy kind of